what is it like, and welcome to Fair and Unbiased for Shadowhunter Season 3, Episode 8, A Walk in Darkness, or I'm seeing it being called A Heart of Darkness around on the internet, but it said A Walk in Darkness on Netflix, and that's why I said that in first thoughts, but I'm seeing it around on like the Shadowhunters page and stuff that it's actually called A Heart of Darkness. Maybe I read it wrong, or maybe it's got two different names, I don't know, but we'll just go with both for now. Something I wanted to talk about in Fair and Unbiased that was brought up in this episode was what Alex said to Magnus about what would happen if he lost Jace. The Pyrobatite bond has been explored very deeply in Shadowhunters, and we know how important Alec and Jace are to one another. And I love any time that is explored and any time that is brought up, because the Pyrobatite bond is like, I've said this before, it's giving a part of your soul to another person, and that's not just something that you can brush off. Like, if that person is in danger and if that person dies, then a part of your soul will die with them. So that's no small feat. And if you watch my podcast about the books, you'll know that in the books it's not really explored that much. It's explored, I believe, more in the Infernal Devices, but not as much in the Mortal Instruments. So anytime that it's brought up in Shadowhunters, I really think it's important, because not only are Alec and Jace related by growing up together, they also have the Pyrobatite bond with each other, and that is really important. That is something that I feel like needs to come up quite a bit and needs to be referenced quite a bit whenever Jace is in danger, whenever Alec is in danger. You can't just have like, it's not like worrying about a friend or worrying about a girlfriend or boyfriend. It's like worrying about your other half. Worrying about your other half in a platonic manner. And as I brought up before in these episodes, I don't frequent Tumblr as much anymore. But I feel like people would have been having a problem with Alex saying that he would have nothing without Jace. And specifically that he was saying this to Magnus. And of course, these people are obviously Malec shippers. Malec shippers can be very fierce. I have nothing against Malec shippers, I'm one myself. But I feel like people get very overprotective of Malec for the silliest of reasons. And whether they like it or not, in Alec's mind, Jace will come before Magnus. It's just a fact. It's a fact of life. Because Jace has a part of Alec's soul in him. Alec grew up with Jace. Jace and Alec trained together. They bonded together. They went through the Pyrobatite ritual together. They have that connection and that bond. Yes, Magnus and Alec are very close to one another. They have a very special bond with one another as boyfriend and boyfriend. And their relationship is very strong. But that will never beat the Pyrobatite bond. That will never come between Alec and Jace, because it's like choosing your lover over your brother, if that makes sense. And it's not even like Alec was saying that he would choose Jace over Magnus. It was something that Evil Oil Jace said, but he was just being an asshole anyway. So it's just more, I think people were having a problem with the fact that Alec didn't seem like he would be happy if he just had Magnus. And where I can sort of see what the problem would be, you have to keep in mind that if Alec lost Jace, it's not just like he lost a sibling. It's not just like he lost a loved one. He will have lost a part of himself as well, and that part will never come back, and he will have to learn to deal with that through the rest of his life. In this case, if they can't get Jace back from Lilith. And no matter how much Magnus would want to try and would try, there'd be nothing he could do, because a part of Jace is dead, a part of Alec is dead. And that's how we saw at the start of the season and throughout that Alec didn't believe Clary when she said that Jace didn't die, because he knew. They will know when one another die. That's how strong this bond is. Malec is one of the most powerful ships of Shadowhunters. I am a hardcore shipper of Malec, but even I can understand that Jace will always come before Magnus in Alec's eyes. Because not only is Jace Alec's brother, he is his Pyrobatite as well. It's the same with Isabel. Isabel will always come before Magnus as well, because Isabel is Alec's sister. It's a family thing. It's a family thing multiplied by like 100 with Jace, because obviously they have the parabetite bond. And that's just... I feel like just saying that's just life, but it's not exactly something that you would encounter in regular life. It's understandable, and anyone who's upset with the fact that Alex said he'd be nothing without Jace, I feel like they might be letting their feelings on Dominic Sherwood kind of alter their judgment, because I've seen that quite a bit. I've seen a lot of people saying that they can't stand Jace because of what Dominic Sherwood did. I also see a lot of people saying... I've also seen a lot of people saying that even though they don't like Dominic anymore, they still love what they're doing with Jace's character, which is great. But I feel like a lot of people get the whole straight white male agenda in their head, and they kind of let that cloud their judgment of Jace and what Jace is to Alec and what Jace is to Isabel and Alec's life. And sadly, he would come before Malec. It's just, does that mean that Malec aren't a strong relationship? No, it's just family comes before lovers, you know? Unless, of course, your family's assholes, but that's not the case here. So just personally, I find it completely understandable, but that's just me, I guess. So Simon, Maya, I keep saying Maya. For anyone who's just joining these videos or have just randomly clicked on it, when I was reading the books, because Maya is spelled M-A-I-A, in my head I always pronounced it Maya. No, I always pronounced it Maya, but it's actually Maya. So that's why I keep saying Maya by accident, but it's Maya. But just so you know, in case you pick up on me saying that a lot. So Simon, Maya, and Jordan went back to Lilith's hideout, and they basically found the altar that Lilith is using to resurrect Jonathan. And Simon took a picture, he's going to send it to Luke. I feel like he's going to recognize that as a resurrection, like, altar, and I feel like they're going to put 2 and 2 together and maybe figure out that Lilith is trying to raise Jonathan. I have a feeling that the big cliffhanger of season 3A might be, you know, oh, Jonathan has been risen. But I could be wrong, but that's what I personally feel like it could be, but I could be wrong. But yeah, they're coming very close to figuring out what Lilith's plans are. They're just like, they're close but not quite there yet. They just sort of need a connection for them to connect Lilith to Jonathan, which will probably come in the 2-hour finale next week. Lilith went to visit the Seelie Queen. Basically, she massacred everyone. I hope Meliorn's not dead, because Meliorn's been there since season 1, and that would just be sad. But she massacred the Seelie Court, just casually, and she basically said to the Seelie Queen, why the hell did you give Simon the Mark of Cain? That is the only thing that can destroy me. And I think we can figure out why that's the only thing that can destroy Lilith, because it'll basically bounce Lilith's power back at her, and it'll kill her, because, you know, I don't think she's immune to her own powers, and you never actually direct your own powers at yourself. So if Lilith attacked Simon, then it would bounce back at her and she would be dead, just like anyone else who's tried to attack Simon so far. Seelie Queen was like, no, I didn't give it to you because I wanted to I didn't give it to him because I wanted to kill him. We protect rare creatures. And I actually believe that, because I don't think the Seelie Queen was aware that Lilith was back. She could have been, but I don't think she was. She was, she just gave Simon the Mark of Cain because, as she said, Seelies protect rare things, and Simon is rare as a daylighter. And they sometimes adopt humans, they adopt downworlders, and they protect them and keep them safe. It's how the Seelies work. Even if they can be a bit deceptive, it is just how they roll. So she gave Simon the Mark of Cain because she wanted to keep him safe, even if it is a bit dangerous on its own. And basically she gave it to him so that anyone who tries to attack him obviously will turn to dust. But she didn't know that Lilith was back. It just seems like it was a happy coincidence that she gave Simon the Mark of Cain just when Lilith returns to resurrect her son. Don't we just love coincidences like that? So, in exchange for not killing her, the Seelie Queen told Lilith where Jace was, the bitch. I was so annoyed. And literally, just as they promised, just as Isabel and Alec promised that they wouldn't let Lilith take Jace again, Lilith fucking took him! Oh my god. The stress, I was so upset. I was so upset for Jace. It was awful. Lilith also threatened Magnus and said, if I didn't want to start a war with your father, I would kill you, which obviously means that Lilith knows Magnus's father. They must have some sort of They must have met in Edom or something. And what we've seen in the sneak peeks for the finale next week, we see that Magnus meets his father in the next episode, which should be interesting. Maybe we'll get to find out what his relationship with Lilith is, who knows? Finally, Clary has been sentenced to death. Well, shit. She couldn't lie because of the soul sword, and she was forced to tell Councillor Penhallow that she used the wish from Raziel. And Penhallow did make a good point that sometimes things are about sacrifice, and sometimes you have to sacrifice things to reach the means that you want to get, but that doesn't work with our storyline right now. That doesn't work with how we want things to go. So basically Clary's been sentenced to death, and I'll be interested to see how she gets out of this, because I don't know, I feel like it'll be something to do with Luke. Luke will rescue her. Luke will be the brave, handsome hero, as he always is, and rescues Clary from the clutches of death. Or maybe Maris will get her inside contact to get Clary out, who knows? It's all left to be seen, and we'll see it all in the 2-hour finale next week. There'll be a 2-hour finale. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do reviews for a 2-hour finale, but I'll figure something out. We'll get something worked out. I don't know if I'll be able to post on Wednesday, but I'll see. I'll keep updated on my Twitter if any of you follow me there, and I'll figure something out. I kind of make this up as I go along anyway. So I'll see you next week, Shadowhunters, Angels and Downworlders alike. And remember, Jace and Isabel come before Magnus, but that doesn't affect the strength of Malec at all.